So if you wanted to make an opening statement, you certainly can, but in the interest of time, we are just trying to keep things as brief as possible so we can get to questions. Thank you. Ms Fateh, did you want to make any opening comments?
If that's okay, I'll try and keep it brief.
Thank you.
I'm here today as a Kurdish woman from Iran, just like Gina Amini, and I make this statement on behalf of the brave people of Kurdistan currently under heavy military siege by the Islamic Republic of Iran. The Kurdish people have never accepted this regime and have fought against their dictatorship for the past 43 years and are today spearheading, under a deliberate and systematic targeting of their people, the Jiyan Azadi revolution. I dedicate this to them, and I am wearing my red Kurdish clothes today to honour Gina's life. The voice and identity of the minoritised people of Iran, such as the Kurds and the Baloch, has been largely ignored and erased from broader reporting on the protest movement and its discourse. This is despite the fact that the regime's response takes its most extreme form in the Kurdish and minority regions. The scale of military assaults on the Kurds and the Baloch cannot be seen anywhere else. The situation is escalating so rapidly that our submission is already outdated. In the last week alone, the Islamic Republic of Iran has systematically targeted the Kurdish regions of Iran, unleashing military-grade weapons on defenceless civilians and innocent bystanders. They have killed so many men, women and children that we are clambering to keep up with the latest numbers. They are raiding people's homes, they are abducting hundreds of citizens whose whereabouts are still unknown, terrorising families, destroying their belongings and confiscating their mobile phones, leaving people without a means to communicate or document the human rights abuses. This is no longer a case of a crackdown on protesters. I do not use this term lightly, but this is by every definition of the word mounting to ethnic genocide. This systematic targeting of the Kurdish people includes the bombing of Iranian Kurdish opposition parties and their nearby camps located outside of Iran, across the border, again targeting innocent civilians, including schools and hospitals. The youngest victim was an unborn child in his mother's womb. He was delivered alive, and 24 hours later, after his mother has also passed, he tragically lost his life. In the last 7 days alone, the Kurdish cities of Sanandaj, Mahabad, Juanro, Mariwan, Kermashan, Ilam, Piranshad, Sardasht, Bana and Bokan have had their electricity cut, water cut, internet cut. Reports are coming in of water and food supplies being poisoned, the use of machine guns, recent reports of the use of nerve gas. And this is all being compounded by the lack of medical supplies in the region, hospitals being blocked by military personnel, the abduction of dead bodies and not allowing families to hold burial services for their loved ones. I want to draw the committee's attention to a recent CNN report which revealed the absolute horrific victim testimonies illustrating how Iran's security forces routinely use rape and sexual abuse and torture to quell protests. The report states, and I quote, "Most of the reports of sexual violence reviewed by CNN since the protests sparked by Amini's death began came from the west of the country, where large swathes of the region are predominantly Kurdish." The report states that despite the risks of reporting these claims, the incidents CNN learned about and corroborated almost all occurred in Kurdish regions. I will save this inquiry from the horrific details of the report, except to share this one story, where CNN received the audio testimony of a 17-year-old boy who said he and his friends were raped and electrocuted in detention after they were arrested in the protests. And this is merely the beginning. As former Kurdish refugees, our community is re-traumatised every single day as we watch the regime deliberately target our families, our brothers, sisters, aunties and uncles. Every day we wake up and scroll through the confirmed names of the dead from the night before, looking for the names of our families and their faces. Whilst we watch the media and our representatives and most of the world commentary re-erase us from the discourse on the human rights violations being committed in Iran. A special thank you to the Jewish community across Australia who have stood firmly with the Kurdish people in the Middle East, although never a popular position. Your solidarity doesn't go unnoticed, and your presence here today is appreciated. And lastly, I want to thank the Australian government and this committee for giving us a platform to bring you the voices of Kurdistan, too often ignored.
Thank you. That was incredible.